Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 14. The yoga of the division of the three gunas delves into the profound interplay of the three fundamental qualities, gunas, that pervade all of existence: Sattva, goodness; Rajas, passion; and Tamas, ignorance. In poetic and philosophical language, Lord Krishna illuminates how these gunas bind the soul to the cycle of birth and rebirth, shaping one's character and destiny. Pure and luminous binds one to joy and wisdom. Restless and fiery binds one to action and desire. Dark and inert binds one to delusion and lethargy. Transcending these gunas through unwavering devotion and knowledge, the soul attains liberation, dwelling eternally in the serene expanse of the self, untouched by the shifting sands of time and nature's illusions. Thus the wise rise above the fleeting realms of the gunas, attaining peace and unity with the divine. Verse 1. Krishna tells Arjuna that he will explain the supreme wisdom, knowing which sages have attained the highest perfection. Verse 2. By practicing this knowledge, one can attain oneness with the divine and avoid rebirth even at creation and dissolution. Verse 3. Krishna explains that the great Brahman is the womb in which he places the seed, and from this union all beings are born. Verse 4. All species of life come into existence by this union of the material nature and the divine seed. Verse 5. The three gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, are born of nature, and they bind the eternal soul to the body. Verse 6. Sattva, being pure, binds through attachment to happiness and knowledge. Verse 7. Rajas is born of desires and longings and binds the soul through attachment to actions. Verse 8. Tamas, born of ignorance, binds the soul through negligence, laziness and sleep. Verse 9. Sattva binds one to happiness, Rajas to action, and Tamas veils knowledge and binds one to delusion. Verse 10. Sometimes Sattva prevails, defeating Rajas and Tamas. Sometimes Rajas defeat Sattva and Tamas. And sometimes Tamas overcomes Sattva and Rajas. Verse 11. When Sattva increases, it brings forth clarity and wisdom. Verse 12. When Rajas increases, it manifests greed, activity, restlessness, and the desire for enjoyment. Verse 13. When Tamas increases, it brings forth darkness, inertia, negligence, and delusion. Verse 14. If one dies when Sattva predominates, they attain the pure realms of those who know the highest. Verse 15. If one dies when Rajas predominates, they are reborn among those attached to action. If one dies when Tamas predominates, they are reborn in the wombs of the ignorant. Verse 16. The result of good actions is sattvic purity, whereas the result of Rajas is suffering, and the result of Tamas is ignorance. Verse 17. Sattva brings wisdom, Rajas brings greed, and Tamas brings negligence, delusion, and ignorance. Verse 18. Those in Sattva go upwards, those in Rajas remain in the middle, and those in Tamas sink downwards. Verse 19. When one sees that all actions are done by the gunas and realizes the self is beyond these gunas, they attain my spiritual nature. Verse 20. Transcending these three gunas, which are the cause of the body, the embodied soul attains immortality and liberation from birth, death, old age, and suffering. Verse 21. Arjuna asks Krishna about the marks of one who has transcended the three gunas and how such a person behaves and transcends them. Verses 22, 23. Krishna replies that such a person is impartial to the rise and fall of the gunas, is steady and undisturbed, and treats pleasure and pain alike. Verse 24. They view gold, mud, and stones with an equal eye, and treat friends and foes alike, free from desires and expectations. Verse 25. One who serves me with unwavering devotion and transcends these gunas is fit for becoming Brahman. Verse 26. By engaging in devotional service and practicing unwavering devotion, one transcends these gunas and becomes eligible to know Brahman. Verse 27. Krishna declares himself as the foundation of Brahman, the source of the eternal Dharma, and the ultimate source of everlasting bliss. These verses outline the nature of the three gunas, their effects on individuals, and the path to transcend them through devotion and knowledge, leading to liberation and unity with the divine.